There is no easy way to say this, but our previous foster dog Osito passed away last week. I picked Osito up from the shelter on February 18th, 2025. At the time, we had no idea what the state of his health was, but we knew something wasn't quite right. Over the course of 2 months, I spent countless hours with him at the doctor and the hospital doing every test, x ray, and MRI we could. He even spent a few days in the ER, and we weren't sure he was going to make it. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it because Osito was special. He was a tiny Yorkie, no more than a year old. He loved cuddles and had so much joy bursting from his tiny body that it was impossible not to fall in love with him. And although he was such a sweet dog, I agonized over the thought that most people wouldn't give him a second chance because of his complicated medical record. I was worried he wouldn't find a family who would love him the way he deserved to be loved. But boy, was I wrong. A few weeks after I picked him up from the shelter, I took Osito to Muddy Paw's headquarters where we met his future parents. I watched him nuzzle into their necks, play fetch, and chase them around the room like he had known them his entire life. It was love at first sight, and Osito's parents gave him the gift of a lifetime. They gave him a second chance. The three of them built a life together. They got Osito into training. They bought him an entire wardrobe and every toy he could imagine. They stayed on top of his health, regularly taking him to the neurologist at AMC. They took him on adventures and snuggled with him every chance they got. They made sure that his last 6 months on Earth were the best 6 months of his life. On Monday, September 29th, Osito passed away from medical complications. It is absolutely devastating for me, this community who loved him, but most of all, his incredible, selfless parents who loved him beyond comprehension. When I asked his parents if I could start a GoFundMe to help cover the medical expenses, they declined. Instead, they suggested a fundraiser to raise money for future Muddy Paws Rescue medical dogs. They want dogs like Osito to have a fighting chance. And if you'd like to donate, you can find the link in my bio. This fundraiser is in honor of Osito, the tiny dog who changed our lives in big and monumental ways. May he always be remembered through the dogs he helped save.